Hello everyone, I am Stacey Chanel and we are going over my proposal plan. So for the company that I did for a marketing media arts and craft type company. Not anything in particular because I really wasn't sure specifically what would be a good company specifically for me, but I did figure out that the department that I would need to talk to would be like an HR department or like a chief operations department, because that's who's over the funding and that's who's over inclusion or DEI, inclusion officers, things like that. So we just went with a typical media company who has a department that specializes in DEI, right? So the questions from my stakeholder, they could not be with me. I could not get them here physically. So they sent me the questions that they would ask if they were my stakeholder, potentially. So first I'm gonna describe myself. My name is Stacey Chanel. I am a life coach. I operate mainly through expressions art, collage art, and for me, that is more of an emotional healing. So I like to do, my mission is to bring emotional healing through art, basically, right? I share my culture with this company because this company is a company that specializes in media art, and media art now with the digital age would be something that's like the next step. So I thought that would be real innovative to link up with, a company that's already moving forward in the next generation era and next generation direction. So with that being said, I believe that my goals to give emotional healing through art, in a digital form, media form, or even in a physical form of arts and crafts, is something that me and this company will be able to work and collab together and make something really nice for their team and their staff. So to walk through a program session. So that would pretty much look like me coming in, introducing myself with my cart of things of because I'm more of a hands-on type of artistic person. I like to feel my things. I like to texturize. I like to throw color. I like to change stuff up, and I like to be able to do it right then and there, however I'm feeling. So the whole point of emotional art is to get out whatever you're feeling. That may look like a picture. It may not look like a picture. It may look like art. It may look like lines. It depends on how you feel. And in majority, is for people to get out whatever it is that they're feeling in their frustration, happiness, romantic, sad, whatever it is, it's just meant to help get it off your chest. And it may not always look like something to somebody else. It may not even always look like something to you. But if you feel better at the end and you can look at it and say, you know what, I'm glad I did this and I participated, that makes all in all for me. Like, that's the goal for me, to make sure that when you leave my program, you leave my class session, you're leaving feeling relieved, feeling motivated, feeling that you can conquer the world, or at least conquer that situation, or at least conquer those emotions. A small goal is still a goal. And moving along, so that would emphasize my ROI, feedback that would give me, things that maybe I would try different next time or add to this time, things like that. Mention customization options. So it's art. When it comes to customization, that is, the customization is your art, whatever you choose to do. We'll have a guideline of how things are supposed to go and how, the typical session should be ran. However, at the end of the day, it's an art expressions class. So who am I to tell you what your art should look like? It's all custom. And then for collaborations moving forward, any other brands or any other companies that would like to partner with me, like let's say someone had a coffee shop or something, and they wanted to do coffee and paint, and people come in, or people want to do donuts and paint, things like that. Those are collaborations with different businesses, networking within different companies and mingling within different departments. And art, one thing about it, it brings, it's like music, art and music go hand in hand. art and music bring people together, all different walks of life together. And it's a place where everybody has a safe space to be themselves, and everything is pretty much like looked upon like, okay, that may not be my thing, but it works for you and it's cool. And, kudos to you, right? So, same type of concept. So offer to do a pilot session. So that would be something that I can definitely talk about before the actual session, just like a pre-class or what they call them, prerequisite or something like that, just to kind of get a feel for the vibe, if they like, if they don't like it, to see if it's something that's useful for them, something that maybe not fit for their environment, their company. Art is not for everything or everybody. However, it is for the right people and the right things. So if it works, then great. If it doesn't, then I understand. No hard feelings. Mention a schedule follow-up. Of course, that would be a great, next call of action. I believe that would be something if they want me to come back. So if they wanted me to come back, I would love to have a scheduled meeting follow-up, just to get feedback once again on how things went. How did the company like it? How did which will be provided with a phone number or email, just to kind of give me an idea if this is something that the company would like to move forward. But the goal is to have the company, and the employees actually really get into it to the point where they request and make time and set aside, because it wouldn't be like a lunch thing off top, being that the whole point is emotional healing and emotional let go. So I really want the focus to be on what we're working on, and not want to, it's just a free-for-all, we get to get lunch, because some things, even as adults, don't get taken seriously because food is involved. So it's almost like it's a hit or miss with food. I'm not sure if that's something that I would like to offer maybe snacks, but at the same time we're doing art, so I need them to be clean, hands-free, focus on what we're trying to do, get the goal done, and then maybe after everything is finished and we're wrapping up, we can do a snack or two, right? Okay, so the questions that I received, the first one was, how does your program align with our company's mission to foster innovation and emotional well-being? My company aligns with their company's mission to foster innovation because this is a new idea. I have worked a lot of jobs, and a lot of jobs do not really consider mental health a real thing, especially enough to have outside influences come in and give the employees a break. Most people believe that emotional well-being is something that should be maintained outside of work, and while you're at work, it's about work. So to even have companies that's willing to even give me a chance and say, hey, come with us, I believe we're already on the same page. And emotional well-being is my title. Like, that's what I'm doing as a life coach. That's my niche, emotional well-being. And I believe that my way of expressing that and giving that or providing that space is through art expression. The next question is, can you share a success story or a measurable outcome from a past client? So yes, of course. This would not be my first time doing this. It would just be my first time doing it, getting paid. And as a company, as a Life Coach LLC. So the first success story was a project that I had to do for an art appreciation program, and everyone had to come up with their own arts and craft program. And so mine ended up being dealing with colors, because that's my favorite part of art, is dealing with colors. And I taught the classmates how to make a rainbow using food and artificial coloring with water, basically. And they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the snacks afterwards. It was a nice and peace and calm, easy cleanup activity, and everybody really enjoyed themselves. And at the end, it was really pretty to look at, and it was fun. Everybody's art didn't come out, everybody's rainbow didn't come out colorful. Some people's bled together and made brown or purple, or and then some people actually came up with a beautiful rainbow when they were finished, and they're very proud of their work. So with that being said, I believe that was a very successful outcome, being that that was the first time I tried it and it worked. And God is good. So the next question is, how will this program help our employees feel more connected to their roles in the company? So this program is to help employees feel more connected to their roles by establishing a confidence within themselves, establishing a connection within themselves, just to be able to perform, to have the mental headspace to make room for the work, to make room for the projects, to make room for, you know, more challenges. So this will give them a break. Everyone needs a break, and they need more than just a 30-minute lunch break. Some people actually need a real break. So with that real break, it gives time for people to reset and be able to get back to work in a better headspace than, you know, probably how they came in. And that just helps the company. You know, good employees help the company grow. So I think those go hand in hand. The next question is, how do you plan to handle resistance from employees who may be uncomfortable with art or vulnerability? Now, that is a question that I kind of was hesitant on because I didn't think about it. I was thinking about everybody will be excited. Everybody would love to do this. This is such a wonderful aspect. This is wonderful contribution. I didn't think about whether people would be uncomfortable with art or being vulnerable, because I didn't think about art as being vulnerable. So that's a new perspective to look at, because I did not think that art was vulnerability. I thought it was an outlet for me. And so because it was an outlet for me, I didn't think of me being vulnerable. But in a sense, that is my way of being vulnerable. And I love it because I can be vulnerable as a secret. You don't know why I'm making this. You don't know what's going on within me for me to make this. You just see it's pretty and you like it. And hopefully you want to buy it, right? Right. But for me, this is expressing my vulnerability. It's my heart, it's my passion, my anger, it's my pain, it's my sadness, it's memories, it's history. It's, you know, regardless of where it's coming from, streaming from, is here and it made it onto this canvas and you love it. So I would just let those people know my story, let them know why I do it. If they're uncomfortable, okay, great. I apologize, you know. Well, not really apologize, because they should have a choice if they want to do it or not. So I feel like if it's a resistance, that should be something that should be announced ahead of time. So if it's something that you're just not comfortable and you don't want to do, then, you know, you don't have to show up. It's nobody twisting or forcing. So I wouldn't say apologize, but I would just say I will be very understanding. And if we get to a point where when you're ready, I'm here. Next question, what post-program follow-up or metrics do you provide to assess success? So I definitely will do a follow-up email. Big on emails, love via email. So, and possibly maybe send them a survey, the company, and send it out just to see feedback, and then we'll go from there. Of course, questions and concerns at the end of the program, just to see, you know, for myself where everybody was at. But I know some people need time to process. Some people need time to think about and regroup, and, you know, they might even give me a whole different answer. So definitely one of those two options, if not both. Last question is, how customizable is the program for departments with different goals? For example, if you was in a marketing department, PR, or you was in an HR department. So it would be based on the emotional need of that department. I would say that. So if it comes down to, okay, this is a different department, this one's not as obvious of a need, then I would just need more info on what kind of, you know, emotional attachment is going on, what kind of emotional need is needed here. And we can go based on the expression of the art from there. If it's something where, you know, it depends on the personalities, it depends on the aura, the vibe, the energy, then, you know, I just have to go based on what I feel when I come into the room. And, you know, that's where the feedback and email, you know, come in handy in case I may need to adjust, or, you know, I missed the mark, or it just wasn't received. So again, thank you very much. I hope you guys are interested. I hope you guys were listening. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. Thank you guys. Stacey Chanel, have a good one.